Experiment with uneven light. Uneven light is amazing. It makes images so much more interesting and complex. Remember I told you that even light is the best for iPhone? Well, it is still true. However, that doesn't mean you should not experiment with different kinds of light. In fact, even light is a safe option when you need to capture every detail, make the image as noise-free as possible, or capture a flattering portrait. Uneven, contrasty light is about fun and creativity. It may be harder to master, but you will get there. Okay, it is better to show you what I mean with a few examples. As opposed to previous section, shadows here are not the main focus of the picture. They don't have distinctive shapes, they are dark, and their purpose here is to provide a sound contrast to your main object. You have to keep in mind that the right exposure is the key to this kind of images. In this example, I was exposing for apples, and hence the background, which is in shadow, is almost black. It is very easy to miss the exposure, and as a result, you may end up with apples that are overexposed and background, which is of normal exposure, always exposed for the main object of the picture. To do so, I set the focus manually by tapping on the screen where the main object is. We talked about it before. In case the camera still overexposes the main object, while holding your focus, move your finger down. It will bring the exposure down. Here are two more examples where I expose for the main well-lit object while everything else is in deep shadows. Again, you see that shadows do not play a creative or interesting part, but they provide a contrast and a frame for your main object, a pie on the left and a sunlit tree on the right. And here is a comparison of two shots, one with shadows and another without. Although both images are fine and the light quality is good in both, the one on the right is more interesting to look at because of the graphical shadows. So, how do you get this kind of light? Well, you have to be observant of your surroundings. My favorite places for such light are window sills with pleated window shades or window shades with interesting patterns like on the image on the left. Light will come unevenly through the shades, creating lighter and darker areas. Another favorite of mine is dapple light coming through the leaves, like in this example. Once again, watch out for your exposure. Here, my main object is the cat, and her exposure is correct. However, the book is overexposed, but I don't mind because it is not the main object. If there was no cat in the picture or I decided that the main object would be the book, then exposure for the book would have to be corrected, like in these two examples. You can see that these images are much darker, and that is because the book pages are very bright as opposed to cat, and when light hits them, they can easily be overexposed. Hence, the exposure had to be brought down.